Switch statements. So what are switch statements? Well, switch statements are basically work really similar to if statements. Just like if statements, you use a switch statement if you're checking a variable that could be many different things. So you use a switch statement if you have a lot of conditions to check for. So let's make a variable. Let's make a string variable, and let's pick an animal. And let's say the animal right now is a cow. But the animal might not always be a cow. Somewhere in my program, it might switch to a horse. It might switch to a cat, a dog. It could switch to many things. So I'm thinking, okay, what are the things that this animal could be for my program? Well, let's start with the easy one. What if it's a cow? So if you want to make a switch statement, you type in switch. And then in these empty brackets, you put the variable that you are checking. So I'm checking this animal variable. So I'm going to put animal in there. Press enter and create an empty block. So this is where you put all your conditions. And each condition starts with the word case. It's like you're checking this case and that case. So in the case that my animal variable is a cow, so in the case that this variable is a cow, then you put a colon there, not a semicolon. What do you want to happen? Well, let's say I have some type of label and I want the text of that label to say moo. And then it's good practice to include a break as the very last thing in your case. Break basically means once you've found the right case for whatever you're checking, break out of the switch statement. This will make more sense as we add more cases. Okay, but what if the animal is not a cow? What if in my program the animal got switched to a dog? Well, I make a new case, and this time, if animal is a dog, I'm going to say that this label text is going to be woof. And then break. And you can do this for as many cases as you need. Maybe this animal can be a cat. And if the animal is a cat, label output.text equals meow. Break. Let's do one more. Maybe it can be a, give me an animal. Dog, cat, cow. Come on. Give me an animal. I can't think of one. Chicken? Okay, cool. And if the animal is a chicken, whoops, I forgot my colon. I have some label in my program where I want the text to be bok bok. Break. So this is how a switch statement works. You have a variable. In this case, we have a variable named animal. And we're getting our program set up so that if the animal happens to be a cow, this is what we're going to do. If the animal happens to be a dog, then this case gets activated and we do whatever is inside the case. If the animal is a cat, then this case gets activated. And so we do whatever we need to do. What if somehow the animal gets switched to, I don't know, a teddy bear? Or let's just do something ridiculous. Somewhere in my program, animal somehow gets changed to this. And I'm like, what? What do you want me to do with that? So switch statements at the very end can have a default case. And a default case works basically like your else statement in an if statement. So the default is activated if none of your other cases get activated. So this animal, which is set to this junk, it's not a cow, so this doesn't activate. It's not a dog, it's not a cat, it's not a chicken. So we have a default case. And inside your default case, you can put whatever you want to happen for anything you didn't prepare for. So I don't know that animal. So if animal is set to this, then the default activates. So that's a switch statement. It's pretty straightforward. It's just like an if statement, except it's kind of a little cleaner and it's easier to use and used when you're just checking a variable and you're not checking conditions. Like you're not checking if something's bigger than or less than. It's just straight, I don't know, you're checking a variable for a single value. So if it's a cat, this case gets activated and the break statement just takes you out of the switch statement. So we're done with the switch statement. If it's a donkey, well, it's not a cow, it's not a dog, it's not a cat, it's not a chicken. So we're going to the default. So this gets activated. I don't know. I think it's very straightforward. Cool.